Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Jordan Cameron back with another video. And man, we got the crypto market moving right now very, very quickly. And today we're going to continue to discuss our thesis of the biggest blow off top in crypto history, up to the 10 trillion market cap for total cryptocurrency market cap, before the biggest .com-esque bubble 2.0 that we've ever seen in market history. All right, so let's not waste any time. Let's jump on into it. Man, guys, we got Bitcoin moving up 110,155. If you once again you fell for the Trump and Elon drama, just like many people did down here for the tariff drama, when we on this channel were saying as long as Bitcoin holds the 50 moving average bands, we were going to continue to stay bullish, because in every bull market, as long as Bitcoin held the 50 moving average bands, it was the smart thing to continue to be bullish. Just like down here in October and September of 2023, we hit the 50 moving average bands and we did a 2x. Just like right here in October and September of 2024, we held the 50 moving average bands. Bitcoin went on to do a 2x. And once again here throughout February, March, and April of 2025, we continue to say as long as Bitcoin holds the 50 moving average bands on a weekly close, we're expecting Bitcoin to come up and make new all-time highs. And boom, we got Bitcoin in new all-time highs again, 110,176 as I'm making this video. Could be higher, could be lower when you're watching this video within the next 20 to 48 hours. All right, but we got Bitcoin 110,184, and Bitcoin was the first step, okay, of us seeing the biggest blow off top in crypto history up to that 10 trillion point. Now, we're going to discuss many things in today's video, including our stablecoin dominance chart, which is getting a capitulation. I think we're about to see one of the biggest moves that we've ever seen in crypto history over the next few months, guys. And I'll explain to you why, again, on the charts, not based on feelings, based on strictly charts and data, okay? So let's once again go over to our total market cap chart and just discuss a few things. If you're new to the channel, or just a refresher for everyone that's watching the channel again, and you enjoy these type of videos, let me know in the comment section if you enjoy these videos. We're expecting a move to the 10 trillion or the 4236 Fibonacci level. And this 4236 Fibonacci level is simply our previous bull market high to our bear market low. Okay, that's the 4236 Fibonacci level. And if you actually look, and you're a believer in the 4-year cycle of crypto, if you actually look towards the end of this year, Q4 timeframe, October to December of 2025 would put us right in this zone. And there's a lot of confluence over here at the end of 2025. It is also not only the 4236 Fibonacci level, but it's also the top of this large macro rising wedge, which we have 3 touch points from 2017, 2021, and 2021. And that would put us right in that zone as well for the total cryptocurrency market cap. And I do believe, guys, that this move is going to catch a lot of people off guard, as a lot of people have written off altcoins. And I do believe a large part of this move up will be Ethereum and the altcoin market absolutely blasting off. And obviously, I do believe Bitcoin's going to go higher. Bitcoin's my biggest holding, but I do believe the altcoin market is going to be a big driver of us getting to the top of this rising wedge before ultimately we see the biggest bubble pop in crypto history. And I do expect everyone and their mother to be ultra bullish. The higher this goes, the more people are going to start believing in crypto, when you should have been a believer in crypto on this dip right here during the tariff drama. That's when you should have been buying. That's when you should have been either holding or buying. And as we move up, that's when we should be selling and looking to take profits on our conviction of holding the 50 moving average bands for Bitcoin. Okay, so let's discuss a few different things. Why do we expect this, right? So it's great. We have confluence up here. Why are we expecting this? Well, first of all, our stablecoin dominance chart, which we take a look at in every single video. This is the biggest reason of why I do believe the cryptocurrency market is about to see the biggest blow off top that we've ever seen, if not just move much higher. Okay, so if we take a look over here of our stablecoin dominance chart, well, we're looking at this as a simple range, guys. If you look at 2023, 2024, and 2025, okay, we had 2 rejections from this 8% level, okay? And back over here in March and April 2025, we saw once again this come into this zone. And when we came into this zone right here in 2025, Okay, what we're looking at is this simply being a range, and for stablecoin dominance to come back down to the bottom of the range. Now we know, and if you've been following the channel for a long time, or be a big fan of the stablecoin dominance chart, we know on this channel that this is inversely correlated to the cryptocurrency market. Now you can see that we just had a retracement on this. And a lot of times when we see these retracements on the stablecoin dominance chart, you see a lot of pessimism and a lot of people throwing in the towel. And simply all that's happening, okay, on these retracements up is simply retracements, okay? And when the stablecoin dominance gets a retracement up, you see cryptocurrency get a retracement down, okay? And that's what we've seen over the last, few weeks is Bitcoin get a little retracement down, pessimism come back into the market. If we take a look at the fear and greed index, we actually went into fear, and that's what the big thing we were looking at on the small little pullback is we wanted to see fear come into the market, and we actually hit a 44 on the fear and greed index, perfectly going into fear with Bitcoin above 100K. We said in last video, if we can get Bitcoin, the crypto fear and greed index with fear with Bitcoin above 100K, man, that proves the climbing the wall of worry narrative that not a lot of people want to see the prices go up. And a lot of people are fearful of the prices up here, when in fact, if you've been following the channel and you follow the data, this is a great time to be excited over the next few weeks and the past few weeks, okay? As we've already seen Bitcoin hit all-time highs, and I think a lot of altcoins and total market cap is about to hit all-time highs very, very soon too. So what we're simply expecting, going back to our stablecoin dominance chart, is this to move back down to the bottom of the range. And you guys can see we're only about halfway through this general, range, okay? So if we expect this to get back down to the bottom of the range because it's simply a range until it's not, well, this move down back to the bottom of the range is going to equal total market cap, okay, getting an explosive move to up higher. Now, you might not believe it's going to 10 trillion, but you have to admit, even if you are a bear, I don't know why you are, but if you are a bear, that we're only halfway through the range, and a move back down to the bottom of the range would equivalently be bullish for the crypto market, and we equivalently would see higher for the cryptocurrency market. Now, I think this is going to lead to the biggest blow-off top in crypto history. People are going to be talking about this for decades, and a lot of people are going to be talking about it for the opposite reason as we start to move back down for decades, saying, man, that was a big bubble pop. Man, that was crazy. A lot of people getting wrecked on this move up because a lot of people are going to not even believe in this move until we get to the highs. Just like in 2021, not a lot of people were talking about crypto down here in 2020. It's not until you had the cryptocurrency market up in this zone up here, the distribution phase, that almost 90 to 95% of people got into crypto up at the highs. And I do believe that's going to be sort of the same price action we get. If I can go back here on the cryptocurrency total market cap up over here in late 2025, as a lot of people are going to get sucked into the market at the highs again, just like in 2021 and, really just like in 2017. So, okay, we have our stablecoin dominance chart starting to capitulate down again, and I do believe that this move is going to bring us down, and we're going to see, a further move up and a further expansion for the cryptocurrency market over the next few weeks to months. Okay, so not only do we have that, guys, and once again, not only do we hit fear on the fear and greed index, which we were looking at. If you kind of take a look around the market, guys, it really is the perfect setup out there. Okay, we have Bitcoin at 110,000 in new all-time highs. The fear and greed index only in really, a 62, which is, just barely over neutral. And if we actually take a look at a few of our other indicators, right, we have the global liquidity chart continuing to move up. Okay, and we take, once again, a lot of people continue to write this off, but global liquidity had a pullback right here on a 3-month lag. And we know that Bitcoin follows global liquidity on a 2 to 3 month lag. Bitcoin pulled back. Look at how perfect this is. Bitcoin pulled back with global liquidity, and is now global liquidity starts to move up again. And guess what? Bitcoin is starting to move up again. If we actually just look at what global liquidity does over the next few weeks, man, if Bitcoin continues to follow this at this pace, we are about to see, possibly $120,000 to $130,000 Bitcoin over possibly by early July. Okay, so things could get kind of crazy kind of quick. Once again, I'm not about timing. I'm not going to say when I think something's going to happen. I just do believe the market's going to go higher, and I do believe Bitcoin's going to follow global liquidity at a relatively, easy pace here. Okay, so global liquidity continues up. I believe Bitcoin's going to continue to follow that to the upside, as it's done really since early 2024. Okay, now when we put all these things together, guys, okay, it really comes back down to me for this altcoin chart, okay? Because a lot of people, we see Bitcoin going higher. That's great. I think a lot of things, and we're going to talk about, Ethereum and the altcoin market, how I do believe the altcoin market is also in this giant macro rising wedge. And you guys can see we're sitting at 641 billion for total three, excluding BTC, ETH, and stablecoins. I do believe that the total three, this total three ES chart, which is the new, total three chart minus stablecoins, is going to that 1.74 trillion point, and it's going to form its own rising wedge and crashing structure up to that 2.618 Fibonacci at 1.74 trillion before it gets its capitulation back down and gets everyone sucked in at the highs, just like in 2021. Now, why that 2618 Fibonacci? Well, in 2021, from the 2017 high to the 2020 low in the bear market, that's exactly where we topped out for the total three chart over here in 2021. Okay, and now I was in the market down here. Okay, and this area right here reminds me a lot of right in here. Okay, just from a sentiment standpoint, and just where a lot of people threw in the towel with altcoins, as Bitcoin was already in all-time highs by this point right here, and altcoins were all the way down here. And then all of a sudden, it only took about 4 to 5 months to see the altcoin market go from 82 billion to almost 800 billion. Okay, so I maybe don't expect the magnitude and percentages, but I am expecting the biggest market cap move in altcoin history to happen over the next 6 months before the end of this year. Okay, now we only have, put that together, we also only have 4 years left in the cycle. So if you're a 4-year cycle believer, well, you got to think that the altcoin market and the Bitcoin is going to top before December 2025. Okay, if you're a 4-year cycle believer, unless you think this cycle is going to be slightly different. I'm never a this time is different type of guy, but here we are. So I quickly want to look at Ethereum, guys. And I think Ethereum, once again, I'm going to continue to say this, if we're going to see this thesis play out, and if we're going to continue to see most people be wrong about this thesis, continually I make these videos and continually my comment section is filled with, there's no way that's going to happen. Do you see tariffs? Do you see Donald Trump and Elon ruin your thesis? I continue to see pessimism in my comment section on these videos, and it makes me even more confident that we're going to see something like this play out, because the pessimism is at an all-time high for the altcoin market. Now, when I go over here and I took a look at Ethereum, you guys can see the absolute strength in Ethereum right now. And what I'm watching for, and like what we talked about the last few videos, the real signal for Ethereum and the altcoin market, I think right here, you guys can see that this was a previous support level for Ethereum all throughout 2022 to 2025. You guys can see we had this massive capitulation below. This is the signal for me that the market is absolutely about to go bananas. Okay, now we already got Bitcoin at all-time highs, but I think what's going to get the rest of the market going absolutely bananas, you see Ethereum reclaim back above this trend line. That's going to be the driver that's really going to get this total market cap chart breaking into new all-time highs and absolutely blowing people's minds. People forget what happens with crypto when things get absolutely bananas. And I think if you can get Ethereum, this just being a false breakdown and back above this trend line, I think you're going to see Ethereum teleport to 4K and all-time highs quicker than you can say bananas. Okay, I don't want to talk about banana zone, but quicker than you can say bananas. And that's going to be the kicker if we actually go back to our total three chart. We've discussed this 2021 major resistance point. Okay, this 2021 high in April, this 2020 high in November. You guys can see that we rejected from that right there in June of 2025. We had a little false break up here. What's going to get us to hold above that 2021 high for total three, I think is going to be the momentum that Ethereum can get if it gets back over this trend line. So that's what I'm watching for. Ethereum back over this trend line, you're going to see total 3 break back above this red box, and that's going to be the signal for the absolute teleportation of the altcoin market, okay? In my opinion. And that's, once again, when we look at our thesis here, okay, to get to that 10 trillion point from our current 3.38 trillion, we need about another 3x in the total cryptocurrency market cap. Now, a 3x really isn't much in the grand scheme of things. I mean, if we just take a look at really since, December 2023, we've done about a 3x in the last year and a half. Okay, to get another 3x in the total cryptocurrency market cap is really not that big of a deal. Yeah, it's a lot of money, but that's typically what happens at the end of these cycles is an exuberant amount of money and just absolute euphoria comes into the market. So to get to that 10 trillion point, yes, I do believe Bitcoin's going higher, but I also don't believe Bitcoin's going to 300K plus. And I think what's a big driver, what's going to get this up to that 10 trillion point for us to be able to hit that is an absolute altcoin banana. And it's going to be led, I think, by utility tokens, Ethereum, XRP, Chainlink, CRV, HBAR. A lot of that is going to be utility tokens because I do believe over the next 6 months, you're going to start hearing rumors of some altcoins being used and things of that nature, rumors of altcoins, stablecoin bills being passed, and a lot of things opening up. And I think that's going to cause an absolute euphoric moment for the utility tokens. And that's going to be a big driver of this total market cap getting to that 10 trillion point. So as we discuss all the data, okay, we discuss the total, the global liquidity chart going into new all-time highs, our stablecoin dominance chart simply going to range lows, okay, neutral fear and greed index with Bitcoin at 100K. We take a look at our, Coinbase app ranking at 400 with Bitcoin at all-time highs. Like what? No one is interested in this market. It is the perfect setup to climb the wall of worry, and it's the perfect setup to see this market absolutely go bananas when no one is paying attention. 400 on the Coinbase app ranking. That is absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. Okay? Absolutely insane. That's the lowest that the Coinbase app ranking has been since April 20th. When really Bitcoin, I believe at that point, April 20th, was when Bitcoin was still at 80K. Okay? We're at those points right now. So people aren't paying attention. And that is the absolute perfect scenario for this market to go absolutely haywire. Climb the wall of worry when no one's paying attention. Okay? And then when everyone's paying attention at the highs, you're not going to be that guy. Okay? You're going to watch this channel and you're going to be bullish at the lows, bullish on the initial move up. But the higher the market goes on this channel, we are going to continue to express worry the higher the market gets. Okay. And as total market cap pushes into new all-time highs and we see 4 trillion, 5 trillion, 6 trillion, we're going to continue to discuss taking profits. We're going to continue to discuss securing profits as everyone starts to believe in this market. And that's not going to be you. You're not going to be the one who comes in and starts to believe as prices to move up. Do not be a part of the herd. The herd was bearish on the tariff news. The herd was bearish on the Donald Trump Elon fight. Okay? And the herd will be bullish when all the news is bullish. When all the news isn't bearish, because the time to be bullish is when all the news is bearish. The time to be bullish is when all the news is bearish. The times to be bearish is when all the news is bullish. And I guarantee you, as this market starts to move up, you're going to start to see a lot of bullish narratives come out. And people are going to believe that crypto is going to change the world. It's never going to go down again. And though I do believe crypto will change the world and crypto will be a big part of the financial industry, a decade from now, okay? I do believe the real crypto bull run, okay, for the top of the top, cream of the crop coins, including Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, and a lot of utility coins, will come after the biggest bear market in crypto history. So do not be the one who gets sucked in at the top. Be the one who gets sucked in the initial move, okay? But do not be the one who gets sucked in at the top, all right? So it's been your boy, Jordan Cameron. Our thesis continues to play out despite all the comments in the comment section not believing, right? Despite, these bearish things coming out every day, the market being worried about every little thing that happens. our thesis continues to play out. Bitcoin at 110,000 all-time highs. Total market cap coming back up. We're talking about total market cap now only being approximately about 10% away from all-time highs. Things are looking good, guys. All right, so continue to keep the eye on the prize. It's time to lock in, okay? And it's time to really make sure you got your ducks in order and be ready to take profits when the time is right. And make sure you're following the channel, because I'm going to continue to remind you guys to take profits on the way up and do not be a part of the herd. All right? It's been your boy Jordan Cameron. I'm out of here. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe. Only 25% of you guys who watch the video are subscribed. Subscribe to the channel, my friends. All right? Like the video. Appreciate you guys. You guys are the freaking best. See you guys in the next video.